Okay. Alrighty. Hello, Alan Dennis. Nice to meet you. Where are you from? Hey, Mel. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you guys for coming on tonight. I only have 1 hour in Houston, Texas. Okay, okay, Marley. Good night. Thank you for coming on and spending time with us tonight. Where are you from, Marley? We have Alan Dennis from Houston, Texas. Marley and Mel, and that's good to hear, Mel. Oh, Marley, you in Nassau? Okay, good. I'm in Freeport. I'm in Freeport, so it's good to see you here. We're just gonna give it, I guess, 2 minutes or so for more people to come on before we start. Um, um, Before we start talking about some of the things I wanted to go over before we started talking specifically about a breed club. You know, so like I said, thank you guys for coming here. Hey, Maurice, how you doing? No, we're just gonna be talking a little bit about a breed club and some things I wanted to run by people to you guys to actually see if it was even worth pursuing. There's a lot of things that we need to improve, and I wanted to ask some questions to you guys tonight to see if it was some things that you would be willing to do as breeders um, to see if what me and my friends had in mind would even be worth it. Yeah, no, Mel, I didn't really. There was no invites. I don't. I thought they would put out notifications, but I'm still playing around with this thing. But yeah, the breed definitely needs it. Um, and the community might push back, but um, there's something. The breed has too many different looks, and there's too much inconsistency right now with the American bully, and for us to continue to go in that direction. It definitely will help in the long run, for sure. It, yeah, the breed can't even be legitimized, and certain registries can't even be held accountable to the breed standard without that. So I definitely feel like have to to do something about it sooner than later. Yeah, we have definitely, Mel. We got way too many looks. Yeah, and people that just want to breed for money. So unfortunately, we have to, like I said a couple of weeks ago, find like-minded people that really care about this breed and the preservation of this breed, and want to contribute, in a positive way to getting this thing in the right direction. Okay, okay, well we can start now because I know I have to wrap things up at 9. So I got 1 hour. Um, so you guys that are here, I wanted to know. The first thing I want to talk about with the breed club is a code of ethics. A set of rules that we would have to practice and live by and breed by. And I just wanted to get a feeler out there because if you didn't, nobody wanted to do the to I guess live by a code of ethics for the breed, then it would kind of be pointless to even go further with the breed club. Yeah, but I mean something even more strict. I mean, but not just a code of ethics, but I just want to touch on a few things. So, how would you feel if someone told you, or how would you feel if we said that in the code of ethics, you could only breed a female at the age of 2? Is that something you guys think that you would be interested in? Or do you think that it's not something that would be practical for you and your program? Okay, Marley, I like that. I definitely think that's something I could do too. Um, some people may say 1.5, but which would be like 16 months around that. Yeah, I think actually we had males and females at 24 months. So it would be around the same age for males as well. What do you think, Mel? What do you think, Maurice? Um, is it something that you guys think that you can be able to do? Hey, Bobby Banks, how you doing? We're just getting started there talking about the code of ethics for a breed club, and I was mentioning one of the things Bobby Banks. Thanks, Alan, for your input. Um, do you think 24 months is something that's practical for to be a minimum age for a dog breeder to breed at? Because I know a lot of people in the bully community will not, that won't be practical for some people. They will say no, they're not waiting till the dog is 2. Really and truly, a dog should be bred at 3. Well, that's not a bad number either, but I think to find a common ground, a medium ground, I think we went with 2. Yeah, I could see some people waiting at 2. I don't see people waiting at 3, but I think 12 months, is definitely too early. But I know sometimes some things happen, but as a practice, I think it could be something that we could definitely implement for both dogs, for male and female, at least 2 years old. Yes, that was another question I was going to ask Alan Dennis. Um, we talked about, me and my friend, we were trying to figure out what level of testing could be mandatory, and you guys just feel free to let me know in the comments what you think. We talked about DNA testing and health testing being mandatory. Now, DNA testing is definitely, yeah, a go for me. But health testing is something that even for me was even more, considering the amount of issues that this breed has. I would like to see every dog health tested, and all the OFA and the stuff, the hips, pen hip, all that stuff is just a bonus. If we could get every single bully, like, could you imagine the amount of research that we could have if we could gather all that information from every single bully that would be registered? So tell me what you think. Feel free to tell me what you think. Alan said thorough health testing. Yeah, and that's what we mentioned as well. Um, we also talked about. Um, well, I know a lot of people aren't going to health test. It's because they don't do it now, and like some people are afraid of what they'll find. I health tested the three of my dogs last like January 24th, and I just got back all of their results, and my heart was in my feet. Um, but both of my females came back all clear, so I was excited about that, and I'm just gonna they're all clear, so I'm gonna put them to some males that I know that are health tested all clear. But my male came back with one trait of card four. So I've been trying to figure out what I would do with him because it's so difficult to, I'm not going to be trying to put him to find out which females are not carrying the trait from which not. I may just shut him down altogether. But but that's me. Everybody talks about the card for one trait not being an issue. Even some people would tell you two traits aren't an issue, and I feel like there's just not enough science on it, so I'm going to hold off for a while. But definitely, that was something we also talked about. Another thing we talked about is um, not selling puppies before the age of 8 weeks. Some people I know let them go at 6 weeks. That's something I even did before, not knowing that 8 weeks would be even better, a better time to let them go and let them stay with me more and with the mother for a little bit. But tell me what you think about 8 weeks as well. Um, 12 weeks, boy. I know. I mean, that would be fine too. But I haven't heard of. I haven't really heard of it. 3 months. Yeah, yeah. People should wait. My pups are almost 12 weeks. They're about to go. Um, yeah, no, that's a first for me hearing about that length of time, which isn't a problem, I guess. Just with the way the community is now, um, I think we all know most people. Yeah, from 6 to 8 is what most people do, but 12 weeks, I mean, it wouldn't hurt either. But I don't know. Yeah, definitely have more time, Alan, to work on that puppy before he or she is sent to a home. Um, you know, um, I don't think anybody can disagree with that. But so I guess two people suggested 12 weeks, so I'll definitely keep that in mind. Short term women play with mom and big sis. Serious dog star. I keep pups till they're 3 months old. This gives me time to observe and choose which to keep in my program. Did you use to send your test by? Hey, Marley, I used DHL. And surprisingly, Embark told me it would take 2 to 4 weeks, but they got back to me in 2 weeks. So I was happy for that. 3 months, okay. Well, if everybody keeping it up still 3 months, no problem. I'm gonna definitely recommend that to my friend and see if he's interested in pushing that back. Because I have no problem with that. Alan Dennis, you can observe the temperament and the structure growth. Yes, it's true. Yeah, good night, brother, by the way. Got dog star. Puppy should stay at 8 weeks. That's a breeder preference at 12 weeks. Yeah, so that was a few of the things. And everything that you guys have mentioned is are great ideas and something. In fact, I'm just gonna write it down right now so I don't forget by that asterisk. 12 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks are two answers that I've gotten so far. Um, okay. Um, and then there was another thing I also wanted to touch on. To be honest with you, um, now I know most people will definitely have a problem with this, but it's something that we thought was important. We thought that there should be a weight limit for each class. Tell me what you guys think about that. We think that a pocket at, I'm gonna say 80 pounds. We think that is too much. When we had, and that subject to change, if there are 80-pound pockets that are very functional and healthy, but I think we capped it off at around, in our minds, around 75 pounds. I don't even know if we mentioned 80 pounds, but we thought a pocket should be no more than, I think, 75, maybe 75. And I think we had for the standard class 80 to like 94 or something like that. And then we left that other room for like 100 pounders if dogs are shown or proven that they can be functional and healthy at that weight, at that height, we would also we would also be willing to adjust that. You know, yeah. Mel says, "Hell yeah, it should definitely be a weight limit, but it depends on the frame." Exactly. You can tell the dog when a dog is overweight for the frame. There should be a weight parameters for the classes to maintain balance and proper movement. Exactly, and that's something that we touched on. Now, with that being said, I know the next thing that I am going to tell you is going to be um, kind of controversial because I had an issue with it somewhat until I went to Oklahoma, to the show in Oklahoma, and I began to think very differently about. What's up, Mark? How you doing? Glad to have you here. We thought that the XL should probably be in a different. It would actually be the XL would probably be cut. From what I've seen, the XL doesn't really. I think there are 11 grand champions in the XL history right now in the ABKC, and I think that's because of a lot of the XLs don't have a lot of don't resemble the American Bully look. I think more of them are probably more Mastiff like in look or very tall pit bull looking. And based on how the ABKC has responded towards the XL community in the ring, it seems to be, even the standards for confirmation, it seems to be hard to build an XL to that build. Not impossible, because we definitely have great examples, but we think they should almost be a different breed, like a guardian, guardian breed of some type, not necessarily considered. I mean, like an American Bully and change the name, would be something like a great American Bully or something, or a bull, something along those lines. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Maurice said Corso. Some of them look like Corsos. But what do you think about? What do you guys think about the XL class from what you've seen from the shows that you've been to, or from your personal experience? Hey, Maker Bully Camp says we already have band dogs, so I am going to take that as saying that you don't have a problem with the XL class being cut. Feel free, guys. Let me know in the comments so I can, I can definitely document what you're telling me. It is a mess. I objectively we can't deny that. And I think obviously, and it kind of sucks because you have very good examples of the XLs like Grand Champion Chopper, who I've had a chance to see in person, and you have dogs like Simba from 1506, very well put together dogs. Um, um, who else was it? Vibes Cartel, Rick Ross. You got some good XLs out there, but they're so far and few between. Maurice says all classes are supposed to be different breeds anyway. Keep the XL and put him in the working dogs. But what do you mean, Maurice, when you say they're supposed to be different breeds anyway? I don't know what you mean by that. Please elaborate on that for me. Um, because they're supposed to all be the same breed, just different heights, different classes. But but maybe it is too many classes for this community. Because we definitely know other dogs have other classes of height. But for this community, the best thing would probably be to cut that out. Kings of Bullies Excellence says he thinks the eggshells should be joined with the standard class by increasing the standard max height to 22 inches. That is a very interesting. That is a very interesting point. I've never really thought about that. Um, I mean, but the variation though from 17 inches to 22 is so large. That's the only thing that I wouldn't know about. But to be honest with you, I like that idea because 22 for me, I think, is a very good cutoff point for XLs. I will say that. So I like that point, King of Bully. Paula said the breed came from dogs like Nemesis and Cairo. Mufasa is a nice XL, and Simba has nice big shoes to fill for his pups. But people, from what I've heard from Mufasa, I heard he was 19 inches or like 20 on the dot, but not over 20. I thought I heard he was Mufasa was a big standard, but I could be wrong. Boxing fan times four. What has been the difference between the ABKC and the WBA? Because I'm seeing a lot of bulldog looking bullies on the WBA. Were they supposed to clean up the breed or just make shows for fun? Um, to be honest with you, boxing fan, I can't really say because I haven't been to a WBA show or seen a lot from their shows. But I do know that from what I've seen on their Instagram page, from what they've shared, a lot of seems to be a lot of good-looking dogs that look clean that they were awarding with titles. So I can't really say personally from experience with the WBA, and I know that they're having a show in Virginia coming up, I think, in May. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I won't be able to go, but I will definitely know people that will be going. So I'm looking forward to hearing from that. And they do have an app. That's right. Thank you, Jose Reyes, for that. Marley, what are your thoughts on cross-class breedings? That was another interesting topic. Someone talked about. I think Terrell even talked about that. I like I like it in terms of um, the experimental side of breeding, but for consistency, I would really like more pockets to be bred to pockets, standards to be bred to standards, and XLs to be bred to standards. But sometimes for some programs, I think you have to dip into another class for help that you may be looking for. Um, and I could be right or wrong with that, but that's what I think. But the ideal situation is to have you know the breedings within the classes, Marley. But I thank you for bringing up that point. Haymaker Bully Camp still gonna need a classic to clean it up. The classics, well, we don't. I don't use the word classic anymore. Any dog from 17 to 20 inches for me is a standard. But I know what you're referring to. But definitely, those dogs of the slighter frame usually are more have more clean are more clean and more well built. Even though there are bigger dogs that are built just as built just as well, it's just harder to come by. Palace Finest says WB is an upcoming registry. They have a lot of clean dogs. Oscar knows what's clean. To be honest, only bulldogs I see in WBA is bully market dogs. That's what Palace Finest said. Okay. King of Excellence. By increasing to 22 inches, they would be inclined to breed to the current standard classic in order to create more overall consistency. I like, yeah, back to your idea, Kings of Bullies Excellence. I like that. And I can understand that too. I think, to be honest with you, when my friend talked about it, he might have said from the standard class, may have been from 70 to 21. But that was just him. We were just throwing out ideas. Um, but definitely, it's definitely something worth, and I've written that down. Um, 17 to 22, we could definitely talk about that. Maurice said the classes shouldn't be bred together. He means the separate classes. So, and I can agree on that too. That's something I definitely need to write down as well. Crossbreeding classes. Um, that would definitely that would definitely help quickly to me in terms of the consistency of the breed. I think that would. I mean, you would see more consistency sooner than later than by doing something like that. So thank you, Maurice. Palace Bullies. I've been to WBA show. They pick clean dogs. Okay. But we all looking forward to WBA. Mad Pit. I own a pit bull looking 68 kg bully now. And I've had a few or seven ago in the UK. You could pit 10 XLs in the same room and they would all look similar. Now they wouldn't even look like the same breed. Yes, okay. I hear that. Definitely. They wouldn't look like the same breed. That's for sure. Boxing fan, what are you expecting to get put out of your breeding with Remus? Um, I actually don't know. Boxing fan, I know he's line bred um, Denzel. There are certain features that he has. I like his look, and the fact to me that his father, he looks a lot like him. I like the structure. I like that it's not overdone. There's a lot of balance to him to me from Remus when I compare Remus to his father Gannicus, and I like that. So that's something that really interests me. And not only was he line bred, there were also a lot of, I mean, a few outcrosses. Because I think if I remember correctly, it's like five times Denzel, and then when you go down the ped, you see um, several outcrosses as you go down. So, but I know what I already know what Nancy brings to the table. She brings a very bully dog. So um, I'm hoping that he can clean up some of the structure on Nancy. Um, that's what I'm hoping for. I still would like to look at him a little more. Um, and I may not I might put him to something cleaner than Nancy, but for right now, that's what it's looking like we're gonna do um, right now, and I'm hoping Nancy isn't actually pregnant right now for my other dog because they were being fast and they bred when I wasn't looking, and then I found them stuck together. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. What's up, Ryan Campbell? Appreciate you, brother. Coming on, Kings of Bullies. 17 to 20 is the ABKC current standard height for classic and standard, so it's only an increase from males. I agree. I agree. V Fiera, salute. Appreciate you coming on. Male, when the breeding happens. So, boxing fan, if you were to keep anything out of that letter, do you think you would have to go outside your yard to get the full potential out of that Remus blood? I really don't know. It was just something that that a friend of mine we talked about. Remus was one of the dogs we chose because I knew that he was health tested. I've seen his embark results, and I obviously liked his look. And he's a pocket, but he's a bigger pocket. And I wanted to increase the height a little bit on my female. And when I compare from what I got from my female Nancy and my male Kobe, I was pleased with, except the tails. But they were pretty well built. Um, but and I think Remus is a better dog than my male, so I'm thinking that they should do better. But it's still an experiment to me because I've only bred Nancy one time, so I can't exactly say what she would do consistently. I can only go from the small sample size that I have of her, and she only had two puppies. So Fat Mama's Exotics, enjoying your content, fam. Appreciate you coming on tonight. Nancy and Remy should complement each other perfectly. Fingers crossed. Yes, sir. Joshua cut the live. Yes, sir. Joshua, appreciate you. You think the bud is going to produce? It has potential. Do you think? I think it should. I think she's lime bred, rockin' ruby, and bully market, and definitely Remus is lime bred. Um, Denzel Hall of Flame blood, and we know what Denzel brings to the table in terms of his good breeding, his consistency in his productions throughout the year. So it's definitely something to look forward to. So I don't know of examples of the same breeding that have been done. So I haven't even been able to look back and see, okay, what's happened when you put Bully Market to D line, line bred, or Rock and Ruby. It's going to be interesting to me. I'm not even going to lie and pretend and tell you that I know what to expect from it. I don't, but I expect to get some good dogs, and I don't think they'll be perfect because I know Nancy isn't perfect. I think Remus is definitely a better dog than her, but she brings a lot of very good physical traits that I like. 2M Bullies. No, man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. Pilots Finest Bullies. So you the 1 to 2 people that's getting breeding. You're lucky. 1 to 2. Yeah. That edge blood blended it together is amazing as long as it's not too tight. Yeah, see that's the thing, Ryan, that I'm wondering about. Because I was afraid actually at first with several breedings with Nancy that I had planned in my mind. After seeing that her and Kobe had some kink tails, I was wondering if it was too much Rock and Ruby from what the guy told me that I bought them from. Now, like I said, it was one breeding. It wasn't enough for me to see, and I also want to see what's going to happen when she's bred again. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. But for all of you guys that missed it a little earlier, I mentioned a few things of the breed club that I guess prerequisites in my mind before even going forward with a breed club. That is well, Nancy is a pocket, just to answer you. But we talked about a weight limit for each class. Um, there, I guess going back and forth between seeing if the XL should be a new breed or if the XL should be included. There was the idea put out tonight that that the standard height could be increased to 22 inches, and kind of put it all together, make the standard class 15 to 17 to 22 inches instead of 20. Add that two extra inches. We talked about DNA health testing and health testing being mandatory. And then someone also brought up a very good idea of the cross breedings in classes not happening. And also, there was the idea that people put out there tonight that puppies would be wouldn't be sold until 12 weeks. So there are a lot of different ideas, and I appreciate you guys' comments because it definitely gives me a lot to think about and go over with other friends and people of like mind. So I appreciate that. Serious Dog Star definitely Daniel knows, but definitely does. Daniel definitely knows at Fully Loaded Projects up there in Virginia. We definitely appreciate him and what he's done for us. He's good, he's a good guy. I think I can vouch. He's one of the few people I can vouch for and say, hey, he's a good person to do business with. And I'll even say, go as far as to say, I paid Daniel for a dog, a puppy that died, and it was like and I told him, hey, keep the deposit. I'll get it from another breeding. And he worked with me. I ended up getting two dogs from him, and I had a third. I got a third one. The first dog I got from him was years before, but he did very good business. He was a pretty honest guy. So if you guys looking for some other kind of blood, you definitely want to check out Daniel Brogan, from Fully Loaded Projects. I'm telling you, he's a good guy, honest guy, and that's been my experience and the experience of others who've worked with him. But Haymaker Bully Camp says pocket standards and XLs are supposed to have the same look. They do not. Height should be irrelevant. I agree. And I agree to the point that I'm saying that they should have the same look. They're supposed to, no doubt, no questions about that. How do we accomplish that? Is a different task. Two M bullies, but my boy is a pocket off of Lee Woo and too spicy. Ooh. I would definitely like two M bullies. Please send me pictures of those dogs. I really want to see them. Maurice Utsi, XL should keep the name and be put in with the working dogs. But if it's a bully registry, then who would they put in with? That's the only thing I'm thinking of. Frank Gutierrez, thank you for coming on tonight. Stay alert, stay alive. What up? I'm in the building. Stay alert, stay alive. We appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming on. Boxing fan asks, do you think we're at the point where we have to breed a full bred pit bull to a full bred Amstaff in order to create a new bloodline to outcross Razor's Edge because everything else has heavy dark blood? Um, no, I don't think we're to the point where we need to go back to F1s or whatever you call it. I don't know if you're saying full breed pit bull to a full breed Amstaff. I don't think. I think they are good enough. Um, Now, some people definitely would say exactly what you're saying, and um, some people might say the bulldog instead of the pit bull, the American bulldog, or the American bulldog instead of the Amstaff. Depending on what they're looking for. But I think there's a lot of good bullies out there. I think I think we don't have to. I think that more people need to get health testing done before breeding, and I think that a lot of people, obviously this is a time today when people don't really do a lot of collaborations, but there are some pretty good dogs out there that if they were to be bred, we're talking about some serious um, bullies that we would have because if we're objective and honest with ourselves, the American bully should be and could be a lot further than it is today. There's obviously an intentional. It's almost like it's intentional, like they don't want consistency um, with the breed. It's like it's left wide open intentionally so that you can collect more money from a bigger class of people. If you narrow things down, you're only looking for a certain kind of person, and everyone isn't serious about the breed and breeding dogs. So that's just what I think. I think that's why things are the way it is now because money is the root. Money is the reason that people do everything these days. Dax and Edge both have issues. Health test exactly. Haymaker. Two Bullies. I think Staffy Bull over It's a bulldog. I would definitely agree as well. There's lots of clean bullies out there. Frank Gutierrez, I agree. Health testing is key. VPR, correct. Breeding to an arm staff ain't a bad idea for these overdone bullies out there. Yeah, so it's the same idea that they kind of mentioned, and they said some people are out there actually doing it. So just curious. Females seem to have more influence over a litter relative to the sire. So would it be more reasonable to assume soft palate issues are caused more likely from the dam? I I couldn't tell you, to be honest. And I've heard a few people say they in their experience their female has influenced a little more, but I couldn't tell you. I would really like to see some percentages and some numbers on that information, um, because definitely we know the DNA is split 50-50, but some dogs, some of their genetics are just stronger than the other. So that 50% may be stronger than this other 50%. And we know that's true, but how much? I can't say. How strong your female's genes are compared to your male or the male that you've done a breeding to, who knows? But I will say this, in this community, people don't give females credit at all. So if someone were to say that, I guess why do some studs sell so much? Is it because they're actually producing their look, or is it actually more hype? So that's something that I actually I can't really actually give you an answer for King of Bullies, but it's definitely an interesting point. Palace says it's enough blood and straws out here, and some nice bullies out there. We just need to get BS people, pet owner people, non-understanding people out of here. Okay, okay, it's definitely enough blood. 100% money driven, correct. I agree with health testing, says Mel. Frankly, I had a litter whose males look like mom and females look like dad. Yeah, so you're gonna have those kinds of situations as well when that happens. I think it just depends. It's a litter by litter case. That's a case by case basis with litters. It's so much. It's so hard to predict. You know, um, any experience trying? Josh Vossick says any experience trying to eliminate Easty Westy. Comparatively speaking, how hard is that trait to breed out? From what I've heard, it's very hard. And I've had I don't know. I've had a male that had like years ago. He had weak pasterns. So he would do a little bit of, you'd see a little bit of this when he would kind of sit down or stand sometime. And I bred him to like a terrier female. I mean, this female was so terrier. And she cleaned him up a lot. But even in that, I still saw it in the daughter, one of his daughters, who was, I mean, she was clean. Top line was amazing, but it's still that little. So I don't know how much generations, but it can definitely be done. But I've heard people say it's a very annoying trait to try to clean up. Fifiera says it's definitely more hype. Yes, sir. I agree. Kings and bullies accents is all at random with genetics. Depending on how much homozygous genes are present, the only other determining factor is COI, which is Mbach's greatest benefit. I like that. I like that. Kyan Buchanan, thanks for coming on. I think the Breed Club is a great idea, but like I've said before, no point, in my opinion, with four different classes for the same breed. Every dog isn't show quality. The breed is all over the place. Nail on the head. Put 'em bang. I agree with him too. I had a litter, says Maurice, that only produced two pups, both males. One looked like the mom color and the other looked like the sire. Same color and everything. Um, good. Interesting that you would say that. The breed, Kaya says, would be a lot further if it was one class and papers yanked on dogs, two bulldoggy. Exactly, and that's what they were supposed to be doing at this point as well. I like that the UKC shows all the bullies together. It's like there's no separating, and you can see, man. Um, you can see like Badman is a good pocket, for an example, and you want to say, and look three dogs down, and you see a dog like Bada Bing or something, like, and you can see right in the ring at the same time. and you compare their movement, not different classes. It's very interesting. I like that they do that. So one class, I wouldn't have a problem with that either. I wouldn't have a problem with that either. Mark Delise, agree with Kai on V Ferreira. Have you tested with Mbach as of yet? V Ferreira. I just said that earlier. You missed it. I tested the three of my dogs. Two of my females came back all clear, and my male came back with one trait of card four. And I was explaining earlier that I don't really know what to do with him because I've heard people say that it's not bothered. It doesn't. It doesn't affect the breed, um, even with two copies of card four. But I don't want to take a I don't want to take a chance and breed him to a dog, a female that has a copy as well, and then puppies they produce have both copies of card four. That's really not something I want. So I've been struggling for the past couple of days deciding what to do with him because I literally just got those results back. I think Monday. King of Bully Excellence. Agreed, Kayan. That's why I suggested joining Standard to XL1 class. Great idea. Kayan. All my bullies have heavy AKC show Amstaff blood. Eril Host. Gaff and Sierra along with Edge and OG Greyline. Wow. I got to go on your Facebook, Kayan, and see some of them because that sounds very interesting. Just make sure that female has been tested. Yep, my females, they all good. I was really happy about that. Hey, Maker, I could even see two classes, classic and standard, no height restrictions. I The reason I don't like that classic class is because I think they should be evaluated the same way, the classic and the standard class. So it's still interesting with no height restrictions, though. That's another. That's another thing somebody did. Well, no, there has to be height restrictions. I think especially for the XL class. Um, but but the other point I like Haymaker. So thank you for that for sure. I would just make sure the female who doesn't carry guard for Mac American bullies. Yeah, I mean, but it's so much work, trying to figure out, hey, is your female health tested? And some people, they might want to do a breeding to you, and then their dogs aren't health tested, and then you're taking a chance, and there's not enough science and around research around it to say what would happen to the American bullies with two copies of card four. That's why for me it's been up and there. With that said, will you only breed to health tested females and males going forward? V, that's what I'm figuring out. My females for sure. Only oh yeah, definitely only health tested. And my goal is actually to produce, litters that are almost like basically completely all clear, health tested on Embark. That's what I would like going forward. So I'm only going to breed my females to that, unless there is some, Embark come back with some kind of study and information showing that they can confirm that the card four issue does not affect this breed, and even not just card four, any other issues that can affect the breed. I'm going to do my best to stay away from that, and that's just a personal goal, because I know a lot of bullies do have, and some good looking bullies do have one copy of card four. I've seen personally. Definitely not going to call names because there's people, they have their dogs, some big time dogs as well, in the UKC and ABKC. And once I'm okay with it, once you're staying away from females with it, it's just that now you have to go through that trouble of finding out if they are health tested and to stay away from that issue. And I just want the freedom of not having to worry about that. But I guess I'm gonna see what happens because I forgot. Well, I'll touch that another time. But with that said, yeah, I said that. Okay, so XLs tend to be thinner and lesser in mass. Hey, Mickey. Yes, from what I've seen now, yeah. Back 10 years ago on the XL Evolution board, XLs were, I mean, it was all about size and weight back then, not even so much conformation. It was just like who your XL isn't 120 pounds to 140, they tell you you have a reindeer. That was the big thing on Facebook back when I first came into the American Bullies. What was it? But 10 years ago now. That's all they did, and the reason I got out of the XLs over years because I couldn't find a lot of XLs that were built um, very well. A lot of them, the high rears, straight stifles, um, a lot of hip dysplasia that people weren't talking about, a lot of scammers in the XL world. So the more I started to look at the XLs that I had and I saw those high rears, I was like, this really isn't what I want. And I got, I really got lasered in on confirmation and learning about it. And then I switched to smaller dogs. And it just became an easier decision for me because the XLs were my first love in the American bully community. So now I can look back at it objectively and say there's something I don't really want for me. But a good XL is a beautiful thing as well. Can't lie. But yeah, so for those of you who missed, I just wanted to throw a lot of those ideas out tonight with the basically the prerequisites of the breed club, and I like what I heard from a lot of you. Definitely got to go back and definitely got to go back and go over this with my friend because I like what I heard tonight. So I guess the only thing to see is how practical that can be. My biggest concern, Haymaker, with doing away with the classic is loss of functionality. Well, you wouldn't really be doing away with the classic Haymaker Bully Camp. We were just doing away with the name because once what we've seen in the ABKC is once you divide those classes in terms of name, they've started to evaluate those dogs differently, and that's not something that we want to see. So put them all in the ring together, and then let's evaluate them. That's what I really want to see. Cayenne, a lot of XLs back in the day had bad cow hawks. Definitely, yeah, definitely, no question about it. Maurice, don't do away with the name. Just don't punish them for being smaller. I mean, that's an option too, But I don't see why it wouldn't be considered like it was like I was saying the other day to a friend of mine. If you're gonna have a classic for a 17 to 20-inch dog, that's separate. You have to. It only makes sense to have a classic for the pocket as well. To me, it doesn't make sense to just have the classic for one class. And somebody else mentioned to do away with the height, but in that instance, it would make sense. Even though we had to cap that off at somewhere around 22 or something like that. You know what I like, but you know, it's definitely something to think about. Mock American bullies, yeah, appreciate that, man. So those are the things that we're going to talk about. Marley, I've seen a few very well structured XLs with from Bossy Kennels and QBNK, and you are definitely right there. Bossy, I've seen a lot of they've been throwing out a lot of good dogs over the years in terms of structure XLs. Now, what the health of the dogs are like, that's something I couldn't say. Um, but because I don't actually know anyone that has a bossy dog or a QBNK dog. I've just seen it from their pages and from their videos and things of that nature. So I couldn't speak from anything from me being able to see anything that they have. Guys, do me a favor, go ahead and click that like button for me. YouTube has been kind of weird sometime about letting me do certain things. It's almost like they're trying to see if there are bots or anything on mine. So it would be helpful to do that so that they would kind of recognize it as me doing this, not me having like fake viewers or anything. So click that like button for me, please, if you can, or if you like the video. But yeah, um, I like Dooley as well, but I'm understanding now that he is a standard. Um, so yeah, he's definitely one there. But I am running out of time, guys. I have to, like I said, I only had an hour tonight. Um, so I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing. So I guess we got like 4 minutes left. Um, so are there any more opinions that you can think of? I know QBNK health test all of their litters and breed stock. Interesting. I would like to definitely hear some of those results. Haymaker bully camp. Leader dogs are frowned upon. I'd shave 15 pounds off some of the top studs and they'd definitely be healthier. I agree, Haymaker. They definitely need it. And what I've seen from in the ABKC Nationals last year, not so much this year, but last year, I've seen people personally packing weight onto their dogs. When you kind of been following them all year round, and then you see them in nationals and they look a little heavy, a little slow, and you're trying to think, why did they do that? But they're pushing the bully of dogs, so they're trying to compete by packing on weight. But if they would just push, a well balanced dog, people wouldn't be worried so much about weight, and I think the dogs would be a lot happier as well. V Fiera, what is a fair price for a quality XL or pocket in today's market? Both parents are clean, embark, and so on. I couldn't tell you. I guess that would depend on um, the breeder, how long they've been doing it, how long their product has been proven. Like you say, health test to me definitely increases the value on something, not necessarily monetary value, but definitely when it comes to breeding, it's definitely means a lot more to me. Um, but people have definitely you know uh, boy, I can't even say because I seen some of the prices for those XLs and some of these dogs pockets. I couldn't pay, but maybe when my pocketbook becomes a little bigger, I may look at some of those dogs. But for me, I don't know. Maybe I think 25 to 3,500 is a fair price. When you start talking about 4,000, 5,000, then I'd be like, that got to be something I kind of really want. You know. Yeah, Marley, they have an app that they use to make the test accessible. What test is that, Marley? And Mark, good stuff. Thanks for coming on, Mark. Maurice, it can depend on the stud too. It's so broad. Some people will include in the contract that you can't sell them for less than a certain price. That is true. I've heard of that too, Mark. I mean, Maurice. Sorry about that. Hey, make a bully camp. I'm not breeding contrary to the standard. I'm conditioning against it. The dogs are prone to obesity. You gotta work them, but they need to be healthy enough to work. I like that. I like that. Okay, Marley, I didn't know they had an app for that. When I use mine, I just went straight to the website for my dogs and got them signed up. Cayenne, Buchanan. Most people that breed for money don't ever have a consistent program, which is also true. But Marley, even to go back to touching your embark point, from the breeding I did last time, about almost a year ago. Now having the results, the health testing results, my male has one copy of card four, and my female is all clear. So now what I'm going to do is health test the two of those puppies that came from that litter, because from what I'm understanding, it's a possibility that one of them, or it's a possibility that any of them can be all clear. But I would have to find out. But I would only know that through health testing. So that's something I'm going to health test them, and if one of them is all clear, then I would breed to them because I really like what I've gotten from them. Marley, no QBNK. Oh, QBNK has their own app. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, Monkey Run Bullies. I came in way late, but still made it. Boy, Monkey Run, I'm at the end. We're about to actually close it off. I appreciate you coming in, but um, yeah, gotta go help my wife out now with my son. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys coming on and giving all of your feedback. It's definitely been a lot of helpful information. Man, you guys are so intelligent, and I can tell that some of you guys really put a lot of thought into the breed and passion by just some of the things that you said tonight, and I really appreciate it. I'm definitely going to go back to my friend and let him know some of those ideas you mentioned, and then I will come back to you, and we will have another live, um, and we can discuss it. And feel free to also message me on Facebook or Instagram, and we can definitely talk about it and get this thing going. So once again, I just want to say thank you guys for coming out tonight. Appreciate you. This channel will be nothing without you guys. Nothing without you. So um, I'm just gonna say good night. Zachary Robinson, TBK checking in. I guess I should double check the time zone. Yeah, yeah, man. We're closing out tonight, but message me on Facebook or Instagram, and we could definitely talk later tonight or tomorrow. Um, but I have to go right now, so um, we're just gonna end it here. But I appreciate you for coming on, Zachary, and we will talk soon. Just hit me up on IG. You guys take care and have a safe night and be productive tomorrow. Finish this out, and we're definitely gonna get this done. I like burrito too, but I haven't been able to see him. You stay blessed too, Haymaker. Thank you, Marley. Appreciate that. They are some good looking pups. Can't wait to see them grow. But you guys stay safe. Hit that like button for me if you can. I'd appreciate it. Um, and I will see you guys next week with another video on Thursday. We have a lot more to talk about.